Hey everybody, hope you can hear me. We got the mic set up in a kind of a funky scenario where they're just sitting in front of the fires, getting real hot right now. But hope everybody's doing good tonight. It's the day before deer season in Wisconsin, at least.
Yep, Wisconsin.
Yep.
So we had a group of guys and girls off screen over here at camp tonight, and thought we just hop on here and talk to everybody for a little bit. So if you guys are having trouble hearing us or anything, let me know in the comment section. I'll try to work on it. But we pretty much got the mics maxed out. What do you guys? Who's all hunting in the morning? Everybody?
I think everybody's
Anybody that's serious about it.
Yeah, true. Yeah. We got one more. Well, we have two more guys coming. We got my buddy Chris is coming. He'll be here any minute now. In fact, I'm kind of keeping an eye on my phone just in case he needs help with something. But and then Rendell, Eric is about
Going to be here tomorrow.
80% probably coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. As long as he didn't change his mind.
Right.
Has Eric Rendell ever hunted Wisconsin before?
Eric Rendell.
I don't think he has.
No,
I'm sorry, Rendell. It's Rendell Eric.
No, I don't think
I have fun
he's
with
never
it.
has because he's buying out first-time license for half price.
Yeah, he was kind of doing the cost analysis on going to
Missouri. Right?
Missouri versus Wisconsin. It ended up being
Yeah.
cheaper to come here.
Well, and I think in Missouri you can't videotape there without a permit. Right?
Oh, I don't know. Never hunted. I never looked into that.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it.
I think
Yeah.
you're correct. I've heard that.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I know Dan said that before, that they've had trouble getting, or it's kind of a pain to get a filming permit there. But
I did tell Rendell if he wants to do any sky dumps in Wisconsin,
Yeah.
his cheeks are gonna get chewed on bad.
oh, mosquitoes.
Yeah. Yes, he will be.
Oh.
That will be hard.
Yeah, so we'll have a pile of people here tomorrow night.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully you got a pile of deer too.
Yeah.
Better have something.
Oh, that's what you were saying. We have to drag something out tomorrow.
So
There's
who's
so
all
many of
shooting
us.
a doe tomorrow morning?
Yeah.
I know my buddy Nehrman will. He'll shoot a doe or
he's
a buck of any type, because this is his first. I mean, he just started bow hunting last year, and this is his first out-of-state hunt. So
yeah. I probably hold off on the doe.
I probably won't shoot one where I'm going tomorrow morning. If I end up going where I'm thinking about going, too big of a pain. But
That's not that much. Come on.
I don't know.
Big pain
We'll
is
see.
when you shoot 2 miles in over 2 giant ridges. And
Yeah.
It'll be pain in the daylight versus. What does Dan say? We figure it out when it's down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just get him down. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, no worries until it comes time to drag it out.
And then you're in trouble.
Yep.
Over the river and through the woods.
Are you shooting a doe?
I won't be, no.
Yeah.
I have to be honest, I have some venison to get through still. So I believe a lot in taking that game for meat, and I have enough at the moment. So
Yeah.
I won't be taking a doe. Unless I can help a friend out or something.
Yeah.
And I might take one. But
Yeah. We need to get some deer in the freezer. We're okay for a little bit, but I gotta start shooting deer here pretty soon. Which
Yeah.
I mean, Indiana hasn't even started yet, so I'm all right. But
Right behind Wisconsin. Though.
yeah, a couple of weeks we'll all be. Well, the whole same group will be in
Yeah.
Indiana hunting.
Yep. Doing another podcast.
Yeah,
Happening
probably
night.
something like this. This is nice. I'm anxious to see what the audio sounds like on after the fact, see how good it is or bad it is.
Right.
Everybody says it's all right.
Good
But,
deal.
Yep. I got a thumbs up on the audio.
So is Zeke in Wisconsin?
Zeke's in Wisconsin. Yeah.
Where's he at?
I don't know. He had to leave a comment.
Where you at,
Dad.
Zeke?
But anyway, how you guys feeling about tomorrow? Like last year, at this time, we were like, you had a lot of bucks lined up. We didn't get one.
Yeah.
Season,
So this year, I have a lot of cameras on. I talked about this other podcast. I think I have probably about 70 cameras out on.
Yeah.
But I only checked 5 cameras.
Yeah.
So the bucks are starting to move into the areas where I have the cameras, especially the cell cams. And I think tomorrow, after all the squirrel hunters and everybody gets in the woods, is really going to push them into where I figured they're going to be.
Did squirrel season start tomorrow too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Quite the chatter about that.
Yeah.
Zank always comes up with that.
Yeah. Here you go.
Those one-liners just didn't have to think about it.
I saw a lot of squirrel hunters last year. I couldn't remember if it was September 1st or if it was the 15th. But
We used to get it sometime, didn't we?
What's that?
Didn't we used to get some time where it was just both?
No, it was always.
No.
It's just it became real popular
Yeah,
around
that's
here
probably what it is.
in the last 5 or 6 years.
really,
Huge time, yeah.
so it never was a thing then back in the day, really.
Oh, it was, but not to this extent.
Huh.
Yeah, now there's people like waiting in parking lots. And, yeah.
See, it's the opposite. Where in Indiana, like small game hunting was a big thing back in the day. Now it's not. Nobody small game hunts.
Yeah, there's
No.
Squirrel City in Indiana. I mean,
Yeah.
they should probably have
Honestly,
They migrate.
I walk through the woods and there'll be a big fat fox squirrel like 6 feet away from me. I just look at him and think,
Yeah.
you've never seen a squirrel hunter before, have you?
Yeah,
Come to Wisconsin, you won't be sitting
You won't
out
be-
open.
yeah. Not for too long until 22 comes
Right?
flying by you.
Right.
Isn't there a duck season that?
It was an
Opens
early duck
more-
season, but I thought it was beginning of September.
Because last year I remember just hearing a lot of
Shot.
shotgun.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, that might be squirrel hunters too.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. Where are you going? Where are you going to go? Like general area? Are you going to hunt around us or
Yeah, I'll be.
in this
We
area?
don't talk about spots.
No.
I don't know you that well.
He might, he might be at the T15 spot.
Yeah.
Inside joke.
But how serious he is now. I'll be. I mean, within 20, 30 minutes of here.
Okay.
I mean, I probably won't be that far from you, to be honest.
Yeah. You'd be pretty close to me.
Gary, real quick, I wanted to go back and touch base on you got 70 cameras running, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've only checked 5. You don't want to get into spots and kind of bug them out before hunting here. Have you noticed less bucks on your camera this year? On your
Yes.
cameras this year?
Yeah, spot.
Would you say that's because you're kind of transitioning? Well, not transitioning, but you're kind of diving back in the swamps a little bit more. And Josh and I had kind of talked about this a little bit, just real briefly. And I kind of felt like that was because you're not getting these bucks on camera because they're not getting placed there yet. There's not pressure yet. There's not bull hunters pushing them in there. They're still kind of on summer pattern. And they're just kind of staying up on dry land where it's convenient to feed.
Mm-hmm. Right off the acorns or right off the egg fields. But I did things a little different. In the past I tried to get, one check because I usually put them out early summer, May, June, usually after turkey hunting's over, and then I'll get one check in there somewhere in August or something. But I stayed out of there completely with our Nebraska trip, and it was a lot easier to stay out of there. But my historical spots, I didn't put any cameras in because I feel I have enough information on those and moved to a lot of new areas. And like you said, I dropped them down deeper in the swamps. So starting to pick up some buck movement down in the swamps.
Yeah, the camera you picked up today showed a lot of activity.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where we are planning to hunt around. We haven't really decided if we kind of want to team hunt that a little bit, stage hunt it. We'll see how we go about it tomorrow. But
Yeah, it depends on the winds and
right.
Yeah.
it's gonna be a hoot though.
South wind, right?
In the morning and then at evening it's supposed to turn into like a north wind.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
It is supposed to change. I did see after shooting light, it looked like to me it was supposed to change to north. So, which is good for us because, of course, if it changes during shooting light, it makes it really difficult. But
Yeah.
as long as it changes early enough that we can not try to anticipate it, because sometimes they're off on those times. And
right.
Yeah. 'Cause
I think in my case, I'll be looking for the sun to come up and get those thermals pulling up as fast as possible where I'm at. Anyway.
yeah. What's the wind speed supposed to be like tomorrow?
4 miles an hour in the morning.
Yeah,
Oh.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
And temps are going to be low too, right?
Yeah. I think tomorrow's supposed to be the warmest day. Just,
Yeah, I
Yeah, but
think
that's
so.
not warm. I mean, it's not hot. though,
It's
is
like
it?
a high
No.
70, if 70.
Yeah.
Little bit of some rain moving in possibly. Some thunderstorms. But yeah, it's definitely fall is in the air. It's deer patterns are going to start to change pretty quick here.
Yeah. It's I've noticed just the last several days more movement on my cameras in Indiana just from the temperature drop.
Right.
And the fall like weather.
Yeah, it's supposed to be down in the 50s, 52 tomorrow night.
Yeah.
And then 60s. And
Yeah.
real low 60s for the next couple nights, which is great.
And plus, I haven't really gotten a velvet deer on camera in the last several days now either.
Yeah, a lot
So
of
that's
them
all
are
changing.
hard horn. So that you were out just messing around in an area and on some rubs.
Yeah,
Oh.
fresh like from a couple days ago.
Yeah. Were they still sticky?
They were.
Yep.
They were. That's just a spot that I went into completely blind because I couldn't keep myself out of the woods with season opening up tomorrow, and I decided to go check a spot out based off of the map, and turned out to be some pretty good stuff. So I may just hit that tomorrow morning and see what happens.
Yeah.
Granted, my scent is in there, but that doesn't mean that that buck necessarily came through there overnight tonight. So
Right.
Well,
Right.
it's a spot you could jump in blindly. You're not owed anything.
Yeah, true. I don't know where I'm thinking about going tomorrow. It was a rough getting back there in daylight. So I got to make a decision tomorrow morning if I want to trek back in there or not. But might be worth it.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's your guys' like standards? You guys from Wisconsin? We got to go home Wednesday morning, and then I can't come back here this year. So I'm probably going to shoot the first decent deer that has a rack on it. What about you guys that are like here? What are you guys going to hold out for?
About 200 inch or better.
Yeah.
I was gonna go the opposite. I was gonna say 60 or better.
Yeah.
No, that's not real.
Michigan 11
I don't know.
pointer.
There's
There he is.
What is it though?
Come on.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Have a
5.
seat.
The
I sit there?
You
Nope,
are.
Head down.
Sounds good.
Don't pull it away too far. You ain't gonna get in the camera.
Oh,
You know, honestly, it's
Forgot
such
we're
a,
on TV.
such a hard.
He got his good shoes on with the duct tape on the toe.
Dude, these are my favorite pair of boots. I can't get rid of them.
Well,
Flex seal,
This
my
is
man.
Chris Neerman.
Yeah,
He's
you
from
were.
Indiana.
He was here.
Your
Here at
workshop.
Dan's workshop.
Yep.
Yep.
I bet
Yeah.
that's where we may have been here while you weren't here. Dan's workshop.
That's
I'm
what
at Dana.
exactly what it
Yeah.
was. Yep.
Was that a year ago or 2 years?
That
No,
was
that
last
was
year.
last
This
year.
spring.
That was last
This spring.
February.
My memory's shot.
Yeah.
Too much has happened in between then.
Yeah. Right. Make it all right.
Barely, dude. I thought Chicago was bad.
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
Oh, yeah, the
Milwaukee.
construction.
No, 57 out here.
You didn't come from that way, I can promise you
Well,
that.
whichever way.
Yeah.
I was on 57 about 25 miles
Hey,
away,
hey.
and there was a car in the right lane just going, for 60 miles an hour and 55.
Yeah.
And there was a car in the left lane going exact same speed.
Yeah. Right.
And there was a guy trying to pass. He was flickering his lights and like right on his butt and everything for probably 10 miles.
Yeah.
Like
That's a long time.
it was kind of amusing. I was waiting for something to happen.
Like to break out.
Are they from Illinois?
I couldn't see that far,
Just kidding. Just
Yeah.
kidding.
but probably.
Probably bear fans.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'd be looking for like 120, 130 might do it here. I might be a little more patient at home, but
Yeah.
I'm kind of getting itchy,
Yeah.
I've been sitting.
Yeah,
for
I was
weeks
gonna
now trying to
say-
shoot a bear and not see
Yeah.
any bears.
There we're talking about like what we're going to shoot tomorrow, not shoot.
are we live or what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're live. We're
We're
live.
on?
Okay.
Well, hello everyone.
Good job.
I'm glad I found that out now.
That's a good story.
Almost had to cancel the show.
Yeah, I gotta say, when I'm sitting in the stand and I see antlers come out of the woods, it's not really a score thing, because how do you score a buck from the stand?
Some people
it's
are
just-
good at it, though.
Yeah, I get that.
I
I,
got-
get that, but it really depends on the situation,
I
right?
tell you what,
Um,
I hunted with Cody Hoon last year at the end of the season. That dude can score a deer on its feet like nobody's business and be within three inches.
Yeah. It's harder in
I-
the season because you don't see them a lot. Like it usually happens so fast, and
Yeah.
you're looking through brush at them and everything else. Or
You have a
leaves.
split second around here because you're usually in swamp,
it's swamp, and
and it's do or die.
Yeah.
yeah, and honestly, if I feel excited and my heart is going like this, I'm probably going to take that shot.
Yeah.
That's what's going to determine whether I take the shot or not. If I can make out it's something smaller that I wouldn't be happy with, then your heart's not racing and you're not in the moment and you're not overjoyed and thrilled. And I'm probably not going to take that shot. So it's hard to put on a score on what I want to shoot. You know what I'm saying?
And 2 years ago, I was hunting some public land around here, and I did the bump and dump thing. I actually kicked a buck out of its bed on the edge of a swamp next to a fallen tree. I circled around and came to a point and set up, and he came through, and I smoked him. And I got up to him. I had a little bit of ground shrinkage. It was a nice buck, but it wasn't. You know, I was really gung ho to shoot this 5.5-year-old.
Was it a nice buck? No.
I would call it a
Just kidding.
solid buck.
Yeah,
That's the range.
we called it a tweener.
solid buck.
We called it a tweener. So hey, come on, now. It was bigger than yours.
I just heard Zank in the background. I was there.
Yeah.
We
called it a tweener buck because it was one of those.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and the top, because he came right underneath me, and the top kind of went out.
It was a very like triangular. It looked
Yeah.
like your buck. It wasn't quite as big as yours, but it was.
Obviously.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
But they had similar racks.
Yeah.
But you were only a handful of days deep in the season.
Yeah.
First week.
Yeah, it was totally
Yeah.
cool hunt, man. I
Yeah.
saw, were they 6-7 bucks that day? I was loving life, man. It's just,
Those are the best
That's
days.
exciting.
and he came through like clock. I mean, it just was such a cool hunt. I'm
Yeah.
glad I shot him, but then I had my season's done because you only can shoot one buck in Wisconsin with a bow.
Yeah, took gun season.
Now I'd be like, okay, I'm going to Indiana, I'm going to Illinois. Where's
Nebraska
next?
tag?
No, Nebraska.
Oh yeah. No deer there.
No, there will be. I think when they start cutting those.
Yeah, there's a lot. So, anyways, Zank, what are you holding out for this year?
I'm not going to be as picky as normal. I got 2 kids,
Yeah.
3 sports between them. So, like Eric said, I mean,
Like a
it's
10-inch.
if it's around the ears and good rack, I'm pulling the trigger. That's why I'm trying. I would love to shoot even 2 does this weekend. Get
Yeah.
the pressure off, have the meat part under control,
Yeah.
and hunt free. But I'm not looking for no monster.
Yeah.
But I'd be happy with it. I mean,
Sure.
you never know. I've been pretty picky in the past, so you never
Yeah.
know when you get out there. It
Right.
doesn't excite me.
What about you, Nerwin? You're going to shoot whatever, aren't you?
Well, I mean, it's my first out of state hunt.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
As long as it's got 4 legs, huh?
yeah.
Even that's
Some
optional.
pretty little fawns out there.
Yeah.
Like, quick.
Yeah,
Yes.
careful for the dogs.
Yeah. They have spots. Those are just aiming points.
Yeah, exactly. I've had a few of those before. I don't know. I mean, I'd like a good, nice doe or, something with a rack. Hopefully not a spike or something. But
Yeah.
this is only my second year really
Bow hunt.
archery hunting.
Yeah.
There's plenty of dinks around here.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
No, lots of 1.5 olds.
I'm just saying, if you see,
You got the
you see
you got
10
the
bucks,
dinks,
you're gonna
you got
see
the
8 dinks.
the tweeners, you got the good bucks.
Yeah.
You got the,
Solid bucks.
you got the
Got
solid
the
bucks.
shooters.
What's the?
And we got to name those shooters.
So if I come back with like a 5-pointer that's all
Oh
messed
yeah,
up,
no.
perfect.
That's
perfect.
awesome.
Heck yeah.
Whatever you want is cool.
Hey, I see it and I see jerky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a good way to put it.
You gotta have meat hunters out there still. Part of me is still a meat hunter. That's what I was born and raised as. So when I see a nice big fat plump doe without any fawns, yeah, you know what? I'll put one through her this time of year. But if she's got fawns, I'm out. Until like October-ish. This is.
I mean, honestly,
I'm getting weak as I get older with the fawn thing.
I'm with you there, Gary.
Yeah.
I'm in the exact same spot. You get to a point where you just respect these animals that you're hunting.
But
You're so in tune with them.
yeah, but like
Oh.
when I was Neerman's position, anything.
Oh, yeah.
brown and
That's-
down, I was
yeah.
excited just to
That
shoot a fawn.
stages as a
but
hunter for sure. I'm
So,
sure it is.
That's why whatever you want to shoot is cool by us.
I mean, the first deer I got with my bow was a little button buck, and I carried it out of the woods over my shoulder.
Yeah.
That was probably my favorite kill.
Really? That's
Of
your
all
first
time.
bow kill or gun kill?
First bow kill.
Okay.
I've killed multiple with guns, shotguns. I've never killed one with a rifle. That's how big of a gap I had in my hunting career. But
Yeah, I think probably back in 2008-ish is whenever the rifles became legal in Indiana. Maybe a little bit later than that even. Maybe 2010.
Only on private land, though.
Yeah, you still can't use them on
That's
public.
about when rifle became legal around here too.
Yeah,
Pretty close to there.
they legalized rifle around here because they had studies that showing that they were actually safer than shotguns.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why?
More accurate.
People are aiming, not just spraying and praying.
Oh,
It gets crazy over here.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's a war
that's what
zone.
I've heard.
I think a lot of people with shotguns just shoot rifle barrel too without a scope. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? And
Yeah, they
with
do a lot of deer drives
rifles,
around
with
there.
rifles, you really need a scope for distance. You
I'm
want to
looking-
put a scope on it. With shotgun, you're talking 100 yards.
Just throwing baseball.
You know,
Pumpkin tossers. That's what we used to call them.
pumpkin tosser.
Yep.
there's a story that I wanted to hear. It involves Brad Crook,
Oh, yeah.
and
Which
it was
one?
around this area, and it was a pretty warm day. Going out hunting, and Brad had to sit down for like an hour and a half because it was pretty warm out. You're maybe feeling a little dizzy or whatever. We just talked about this recently. If it's not ringing a bell, we can just talk about it later. But you and Gary were out hunting together. I just wanted to hear that story. Gary was with you.
I'm not sure which one.
On opening morning?
I don't recall if you mentioned it was opening morning or not.
Did they
Maybe
see a
we
band?
had too much the night
Was
before.
it the one they had a
I don't
band?
know.
They saw
I
a
don't know. Maybe
band?
that was the case. You didn't say much. I just I said this weekend would be a great time to talk about that story. Is what I said. You had mentioned that it was a really hot day. We just got done talking about the cooler temperatures and recalling how the last few years felt like it was pretty warm out.
Yep.
In the
it
80s,
Yeah.
you know, early season, and then you had mentioned something about one time when you had come up here hunting, and it was very warm out that day in the 80s, and you had to sit down for an hour and a half or so because you weren't feeling good, maybe from the heat or something. Maybe you were drinking the night before. If you don't recall a story, we can chat
No,
about it later.
yeah, I don't remember that. The only time I remember being a little peaked was I don't know, it was probably 4 or 5 years ago. Gary and I went out and watched
Falls Fest. Yeah, we watched
Oh.
that. And then,
All right.
yeah, we both were a little. We still went out hunting.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, it was a great story because this is one of the first years he came here hunting, and I had this spot up in the Oaks that was phenomenal with deer. Man, I was getting pictures of deer on there. You wouldn't believe the pictures that I was getting on there, and I being that his first time in this area, I'm going to give him the best spot. Like, that's give me. So, drop him off, and then I go down the road.
Yeah.
I drop him off. I go down the road, and all of a sudden, I go to pick him up, and he's like, "Dude, that's bad. It's bad. I didn't see a deer." He said, "But I saw like groups of squirrel hunters
Yeah.
going in 5, 6 at a time."
I only saw the one squirrel hunter, but yeah, they were
No, you
bugging.
said you saw him coming in the dark. You must have been still a little drunk or something. But anyways,
Yeah.
Maybe
I
that's
go to
what
pick
the
him
story
up.
was about.
Yeah.
It's there was like 5 minivans, and around here Asians are real big squirrel hunters, and they were just coming through in the dark with flashlights. Is just shooting all around him.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't want to go back there again. Screw that. I didn't see a darn deer. That was like my mistake. Like,
We can talk about it later, Brad. I have it in text. I'll show
Oh, you do?
oh,
Yeah, but that was like
all right,
9,
we
10
talk
o'clock.
about this.
That's right when the bullets started. Like, they weren't necessarily flying by me, but when I heard him start ricocheting close to me, I was like, "It's time." to
Okay,
stop.
we
Yeah.
lightly touched base about this earlier.
Yeah.
And then Brad made a joke, or Zanky made a joke. He said, "Yeah, the deer were moving really good at 10:30, 11 a.m."
Yeah. Gotta get
When he
in
first
late.
got out there, maybe.
It was
Anyway,
we had a great time. But man, we were a little green that next day.
Yeah, I bet. That's funny.
Took a nap for sure.
Never did they take care of you at the archery shop I referred you to?
Yeah.
Was it busy?
Yeah, it was very busy.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. I mean, when I was in there shooting, I had to like kind of switch in and out.
Yeah.
And
I was worried about them being busy because I thought, man, when it's close to deer season.
then I had 2 guys with crossbows on each side of me just nailing 30, 40-yard shots.
Yeah. And you were sitting there with your
20-yard
your bow, your
shot.
still-
That'll kill the self-consciousness
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah, you kind of
Just
did.
gotta throw that to the side and grab the crossbow.
I about got the debit card out. Still trade in.
Honestly, with the cross, I'm kind of stuck with the crossbow because my elbow is bad. But I miss my vertical bow so much.
Yeah.
So it misses. I sold it. I actually sold it. Now I finally gave up after 3 years of trying. But
when your shoulders, or
when
elbows messed up.
you have a crossbow, and it's totally fun for your first few deer. But then after that, you start missing that vertical bow because it's just fun.
Like I've told you guys, I think a couple of you, and I've told Josh before, but when I shot my buck with my compound, I mean, I can still remember every single second of it.
Yeah.
The sound of the arrow coming out, the sound of the arrow hitting the deer. I mean,
The adrenaline rush.
yeah, I don't think I'll ever go deer. I mean, I will, but
I remember talking about this at Dan's workshop last February,
Yeah.
and you came along, and I could tell how excited you
I don't
were.
think I'll use a gun hunting unless I haven't killed anything and it's late in the season.
Mhm.
I mean, it's
Yeah, when was the last time you shot a deer with a gun in Indiana?
Oh, I shot some does last year.
No, a buck. I'm talking bucks.
Well, he's talking about those.
Yeah, we're talking about
guys gotta
bucks.
get on
We're
the
talking
same
about
page
bucks,
here, guys.
right? We're just kind of
I shot one not too many years ago, maybe 5 years ago.
5 years ago.
4 or 5 years ago.
Wasn't that
Well, we
in
can't-
the cornfield? You were sitting in the cornfield.
Yeah.
Bucket.
Yeah, it's on the
That's
beast.
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember that now.
I shot 2 bucks with my bow that year and didn't find either one of them. And then because you don't get another buck tag after you fill your
Yeah,
tag.
you only get one tag.
You don't get a
per
gun
weapon
tag,
for
right.
a whole year. I wish
Right.
Wisconsin would go like that, but
So, yeah, usually I don't get a chance to gun hunt. But
Josh, did you
Does,
bring your longbow or your
no, I run my compound. Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about like why I don't go full time with a longbow more often because I do love it so much. But man, I almost feel selfish doing it because it is a lot harder to shoot one with it, and then that's like gonna take me longer to kill everywhere, and that's more time I got to spend in the woods, and that's less time I get to spend with Huck and Maddie and the baby. And I just maybe one day I'll go full time, but right now I that's literally how I feel about it. It sounds made up, but
I respect
it's
that.
like
So once you have this baby, this one,
Yeah.
So is that how you're gonna work like Zank, where because now you have 2 kids, you just shoot whatever?
no.
Oh, I didn't say shoot what up.
Oh, I thought I heard you say I
said
got
I've
2
got to be-
kids
I
and
have to be
soccer and
realistic.
football.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm not really going to get
You're not gonna get the
I'm not going
time.
to do 100 sits. I'm going to do 25.
Yeah.
I'm going to hunt a lot, but
I don't know.
Be
T15's kind of looking at you funny right there. He's
Mhm.
25.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh my
I'm
God.
not saying I'm not. I don't think I have it in me to shoot a spike or something. I just
Yeah,
don't.
right.
It's not satisfying.
I'm just
but,
teasing you.
but I also am not.
That's payback for the tweener.
Hey, I'll shoot whatever I want. I could give 2
Yep.
rips when anyone
Absolutely.
thinks, but
Yeah.
I just don't have it. I
Same
don't see
here.
a spike and get like. I'd rather just shoot a doe.
You know, if
Yeah.
you shoot a smaller one, it's easier to get for us to get it out.
Yeah,
Just
well,
true.
I think I've done a lot of dragging, and I think it's time for payback.
Yeah.
Yeah, you still owe me a gut job.
Me?
No, he said if I shot a buck in Iowa, he was going to come gut
He's
it. He
gotten
did.
every deer this weekend. I thought he said. He
Oh, yeah. that's
sharpened
right.
35 knives. And
You were
brought 400 gun gloves, so I think it's on
44
him.
hours
Hey,
sharpening
ball
You
still
your
have
go-
to-
go-
You have to
go-
tell us about your broadhead. Come on now.
How much time we got?
I mean, I love them. I think they're going to perform awesome, but yeah, I've got a lot of time into them. If that's where you're going, it's just something I got into. Finally found a head that I wanted to shoot for a couple of years.
Which head is it?
You're shooting the razors.
Razor
Yeah.
broadheads.
They weren't sharp enough
relatively-
for you?
and they're stupid sharp out of the package. I'm not gonna lie, but it was like, you always watching a lot of hunting public and all these other people and me personally, I want to shoot the sharpest thing, and I've always gotten into sharpening knives and all this stuff. So it was like, oh, broadheads, how much sharper can you get them? And I'm like, I don't know, these things are pretty ridiculously sharp. They look nice, just don't mess with them. I couldn't live with that. I had to mess with them. So I got them. They're stupid sharp now.
Yeah, you started in January, right?
No fingerprints either.
So you're saying you actually got them sharper than they came out of the pack?
Oh yeah, 5 hours a piece into them. A piece, yeah. So 5 hours of broadhead, and but it was all new to me, all new stuff. I ordered some new stuff from a couple different companies, and I'm doing them on some diamond plates and stuff, and it just takes time. Those plates are only so big, and when you're talking 6 inches at a pass, it takes time. And what are you looking for, and looking for the burr, and going through the different grits and all that good stuff, and how much is enough. And then when you're all done, and you take that piece of paper and it just goes, and you're like,
but it's kind of weird because now they have disposable aluminum arrows that are, I heard, not very sharp.
arrow?
Or broadheads, I'm sorry. What do you think about that?
I can see those getting dinged up pretty easy.
Yeah,
They're
aluminum-
disposable, supposedly, but
aluminum's
pretty
weak.
expensive.
I mean, you wouldn't want to tap that on
It's like a
on
tinfoil.
much. I mean, you could tap that on another arrow and start dinging it up.
The way it sounds, you're supposed to shoot a deer once with it and throw it away, but they're pretty expensive.
What does it do when it hits a bone?
I mean, that's what
A rib.
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe it's proven beyond just hitting a rib. I guess otherwise they wouldn't have come out with that. But
I think that's a good
I
point.
just think that's such a soft piece of metal.
Is it going to roll that edge over, and then you're not cutting anything inside?
Then again, you take a look at the B stand, for example. That's all aluminum, right?
Yeah, but you're not
So-
shooting through a deer.
Well, I know. I get that, but it takes abuse, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's not heavy
It's
enough. The
hard.
arrow wouldn't be heavy
Right.
enough.
Right?
I mean, plastic, the new steel, plastic, fantastic. So who knows? Maybe
Yeah,
it's
I'm not
great.
really
I don't
sold
know.
on that plastic stuff yet, Nicole. So we'll see. We'll see how that turns out.
Yeah, there's a lot of
So-
stuff in the market now.
Yeah.
Gosh, it's like it's saturated. Not in a bad way. I think it's just like
Yeah,
a lot of
it's in a
options.
great
Holy
way
cow.
actually, because there's if your price points or
there is.
what fits you, what doesn't. I mean, it's actually kind of cool.
Dude, it's insane. Like, I remember like when you had one option back in the day for a mobile lock-on for the most part.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, well, there was a
For
few, but
climbers or whatever that was. Yep.
Well,
no, it was the Lone Wolf cast iron, but
I'm just saying, mobile
There's-
game.
there was
Yeah.
a few other
Cast
ones that
aluminum,
were out there, but
yeah, there's like the Windwalkers.
Yep.
And,
Yep.
yeah, but like, man, like the sticks though. Like I'm thinking about sticks. Too.
Summit had one too.
Yeah, those were Joko sticks, weren't they?
No, I'm talking to Summit. Hang on, Stan.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I used to
Yeah,
run
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But also screw-ins I used to use a lot way back in the day.
Mhm.
I
When it
still
was
have
legal,
some of
you
them.
know.
I mean, not that I would ever use them, but I still have them. I should just dig them out and sell them.
Yeah, I got
Somebody might
I
use
got a
them for
box of
private
screws,
land
too.
somewhere.
They can
They're
be
fun.
useful from time to time, though. I mean, if you're in a state, out of state, where it's legal to do so. Nebraska was legal to do so.
Really?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
This is a long time ago. I was listening to Andy May on a podcast, and he used to carry a couple in his pack, screw-in steps all the time, just to get extra 4 feet or whatever.
Yeah, because there's always that one time where you wish
Yeah.
you had one more stick.
And let's be honest, that's the lightest step you can get.
Oh yeah,
That's the lightest stick you can get.
yeah,
Um,
just a pain.
it is a pain. It's a pain to screw them in, for sure.
Yeah. Talking about one work up a sweat, trying to put in a.
But
set of
while
screw-
scouting in springtime, if you take that good old
Oh,
cordless screw gun out there
yeah.
and just get them pre-drilled, I'm
Or-
just kidding. That's
Or you use an 8-penny nail or a 16-penny nail.
Yeah, yeah, just drive some nails in the tree. Climb
I
up.
did that back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of.
private.
I've seen some reminiscence of those in the trees and stuff.
Oh, I see them all over around here in
Yeah.
the trees growing in.
Oh really?
Yeah. Yeah, they're all growing in. People
Yeah.
didn't take them out, whatever. That's why they banned them.
Pulpers love those logging
Wow.
guys, all these logging companies.
Nerman got him a bee stand just a couple weeks ago.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, for you, man.
They're looking more animal like.
I know.
Maybe not my physique.
That
but-
usually puts about 20 inches on your gear when you get a B stand.
What's that?
It puts about 20 inches on your gear when you get a B stand.
What do you
Does it?
say about a
Just
doll
kidding.
then?
I was gonna say.
20 pounds out of
You got sticks too?
Yeah, Josh got me sticks last year. I had the XOP.
You had the XOP stand,
Yeah.
and the sticks are these sticks.
What a difference, huh?
Oh my gosh.
You had the
Like-
cast iron one or cast aluminum?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, you had a vanish.
I mean, you could pick it up with your off pinky hand and carry it
Yeah.
out. I was asking Josh this a couple days ago when we were shooting or whatever, but how can you make that stand any lighter?
well,
Can you?
you can. You can make smaller platforms. You can make the holes bigger in the platforms. You can do all kinds of stuff. But in the end, for me, that lightness is when you're hanging a stand, holding it by one hand, putting a strap around is where it's the biggest beneficial. You put a pound on your back and you might not even notice it, but
When
a pound when you're holding it out
yeah.
there is big.
I think if you go much lighter though, you're kind of giving up comfort. You're giving up
Stability. and
Stability, you're
strength,
giving
and-
up. integrity. You're giving up just the overall strength of the platform. It's rated at 300 pounds. You lose any more, I can't imagine. Maybe it's rated for 200. I mean, there probably are no limits that way, but you still have to have a place to hunt out of.
Right.
Right.
6 pounds holding 300 pounds. That's
Another
I'm
pound
okay
or
with
two
that.
is not worth my life,
Right.
Right.
especially when it comes to sticks.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of light sticks out there, but I don't know as I trust them all. I had used some last year that kicked out on me so much that I didn't like them.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
There's still a lot of ways to improve sticks, though, like packability and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Get improved on a lot of them.
It's hard, because you can make them packable, but then they're kind of a pain in the butt because you can't have the double step, or you got to have you got to put your straps or strings or whatever you use to hold them up in your pocket, which I don't like,
Right.
in order to pack them out. I guess it's to each your own. I'm the guy who would forget those darn straps if I put them in my pocket.
Yeah,
or my
me too,
backpack.
Gary. I get to the stand and not have a way to put my sticks up.
Yeah, get out there and go. Oh man,
Do all of you guys have the B stand?
Figured. You know what I messed with after I was in Nebraska and I had so many trees that I was wanting to get into. Not so many, but a couple that I couldn't get straps around because they were too big a diameter.
yeah, cottonwoods.
Yeah, I started messing with those USA Amstel attachment methods, and after just doing them a few times, I'm like, okay, I like these, and I got those on my sticks now. So
Those are the
I'm
ones
gonna-
that
I'm
you
gonna
and
tell- I'm
Randall
gonna-
are working with.
I've been
Yeah.
asking you to kind of demo those. and see
Yeah,
how you
well,
like
I did it
them.
this summer. I took them out, and to be fair to Sam who made them, I didn't give him a fair chance. Like I threw them on my stick. I didn't watch a video or nothing. I went to the woods and tried to put a trail camera up and had a hard time with them.
Sure.
And then he contacted me. I must have said something about him in a video or something because he contacted me this summer and was like, "Yeah, here's he's like, give me a chance to show you how to do it." And I didn't really. I was like, "Okay," and that's all I said to him. And then Rendell was like, "Man, you really need to." Rendell was like, "I really like him, and I think it's a good method." I'm like, "All right." So I started messing with them because I was frustrated with my buckles because I had a cottonwood, like Gary said, I couldn't get around.
Sure.
Well, I started practicing with them this week. I'm like, okay, these are pretty slick. So I'm going to hunt with them actually this week and see what I think. I even have the one that goes around they got one that goes around the stand or a platform, whatever you're using. But,
Oh, nice.
I tried
That's
some
good placement.
straps. I think I sold them to you. They had loops in them.
yeah,
And it's a pretty cool thing. I mean, there's a method to the madness where you gotta twist your stick,
yeah, and
hook
get
it
them
in,
tight.
and then pull it down, straighten it out. But here's the thing: I had struggles with is getting them around the tree because they were so light.
Yeah,
when it was
that's
windy
true.
out. I couldn't get them around the darn tree, and with a buckle, you just swing it around and catch it. If it was a big tree.
So that's the one thing I would say. For this is only for me. I would say that when I get into a situation where there is a tree that's that big, I typically prefer to find something a little bit smaller next to it. I have a hard time with hanging any stand in a tree that big around, just to be able to reach around it and get that stand, strapped in. So and I gotta say, anything longer than what you need with a B strap, I have a hard time I don't know if you have that experience at all or not.
I mean, I guess that's kind of one of those deals where, like, there was a couple times where I needed to be in that big cottonwood in Nebraska.
Yeah, and I get that. You kind of got to be where you got to be. But I just find it for myself hard to hang out. But you can do it. But
I also find, though, if I get in those big trees, I'm camouflage a lot easier.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just such a big tree behind you. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to try them out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
and,
let us know how you like them.
When you found that deal on those sticks for me, they came with those looped straps, and they're 8 feet long.
Yeah.
And so not that I prefer those all the time with the loop. I would like to try the Amsteel.
The daisy chain ones, right?
Yeah, so it's got a little.
Yeah.
And I did throw 2 of those in my pack.
There you go.
Just because there's always that.
Yeah, the base is real wide, and you go up
so
in
at
the
least
smaller.
I can get 2 sticks on
That's good.
and get up above that, and then take off from there.
That was always
that's a good
room,
idea.
No room,
That's a really good idea.
Yeah, that was always the fun thing with climbers.
Yeah,
on trees with the bases being
Trying
real
to
big.
get
You get up there and you're sitting at like 60 degrees, and it's like, oh man, I got to go all the way back down. And
Nearman
reset
always
that.
had like, I remember, I always had a Summit Viper. You had some like, I don't know what kind of climber you used to have.
No, you got me into the Summit Viper.
I know. But back in the day, I went hunting with you and your dad.
Oh, it's probably like a 45-pound stand.
It was like I had the
the
cheapest.
old metal one.
It was like the cheapest climber I've ever tried to climb.
Yeah.
It was like sliding down the tree as I
Funny
was going
story
up.
about
Like, oh,
funny story
no.
about that. We still have that climber. I think.
Why throw that thing away?
So my brother, he's fit. Climbs trees with climbers a lot and everything. Not afraid of heights or anything.
Yeah.
He went out to the baker's place. That's that.
Yeah.
That climber is still out there.
Yeah.
Been sitting for years.
Yeah.
My brother, he said, I tried to get up in it. It's in a really good spot. He's like, I wasn't doing it.
Yeah.
I went and sat on the ground. He's like, I got halfway up it and I started slipping. And
Dude, I know. I said that as a kid.
And my dad.
I never been so afraid of something in my life. I climb up and it's like fall
my
down 2
dad.
feet.
Come on.
No, I swear. It must have been the same one.
I think it is. My
That was
dad,
the
the
Baker's.
same year. It could have been a day or 2 later or a weekend later. He had a friend come down and my dad went hunting. Like the one time he goes hunting a year.
Yeah.
He went and climbed that stand and hunted out of it.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Well, he has that old man hardness to him.
Stubbornness.
Yeah.
So we had a good conversation with Aaron in Nebraska
What about?
about keeping a pocket knife in pants, and I thought maybe that's something we should bring up too. Is that if you do fall out of the tree, you need some way to cut yourself out.
Yeah, if you get back and.
What did he call that? What was that word that he used? You can actually die from hanging in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they say 5 minutes. They say it can take 5 minutes and you can be done.
Yeah,
And I know that being in construction, Brad probably knows this a lot better than I do. As far as hanging from a harness.
The clock is ticking as soon as you.
Never
A lot of
does
the
the same
harnesses
thing.
nowadays come with a strap. You can release that strap and step up on it, and it'll let that blood circulate through your legs and stuff. Otherwise, as soon as you fall, if you just let that hang right there, it's basically
Yeah, I definitely feel if you can cut yourself loose, so you'd have a better chance.
Yeah.
But it's something I think was something that
Aaron had kept with him.
Aaron that really opened my eyes on. So
Yeah.
You would think you would be able to hug that tree and climb yourself to a stick or something, but who knows? In the real world, anything can happen.
You shouldn't keep your you should keep yourself tight enough where you're not gonna fall that far, to where you get back on the platform.
some of those though are meant to break loose.
Yeah,
like the stitching is.
Yeah.
Then you get dropped, an extra couple of feet, and that might be enough that you can't get back up anymore.
Yeah. Or shouldn't the tactus saddle ones.
Right.
You should be able to. You should just be able. You should
You
just
should be able to
fall,
pull
you should
yourself
swing.
back up.
You shouldn't even really.
You're not going to
fall
be
per
hanging
se.
from behind. You're
Right.
going to be hanging from your waist, which is I really
know.
like
Did
that.
you guys watch tutorials on those? Like, is your head gonna be up or your feet gonna be up?
No, I think your
Because
head's
you're
gonna-
strapped to the waist.
Well, it's.
Oh,
I think your center of gravity would be above your waist whenever you fall.
For Gary.
So it'll be you're actually
Just for
strapped
Gary?
to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your you're actually in the buckles in front instead of behind you.
Where would your
That's
center of
actually pretty
gravity be?
It's,
Like
it's the
belly
exact same
button?
design as a like a rock climbing harness.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's
Let's
better
not
not wearing
find out.
one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That is one thing that is, guys that talk about saddles is about their being attached all the time and all that stuff. I get that,
But honestly, with a saddle, when you're leaning off of the tree, that's the one point of contact that you have.
yeah,
that's
that makes
keeping
you
you
makes
safe.
a guy a little nervous.
At least
yeah.
with a stand, you're standing on a platform, and you also are tied off.
yeah,
You kind of have 2 points of contact.
Not gonna lie, I was very, very nervous when I first started with the B stand.
yeah,
I'm used to always
Yeah.
having rails around me or in
Right.
Oh,
a
like
ladder
climber.
stand.
Yeah.
a climber ladder stand.
And I don't think I'm afraid of heights, but when I
Just
started
we're
that
used to
stand, I was. But now, when I'm tied off,
yeah,
I'm comfortable as can be.
Yeah, it's Do you guys tie off no matter how high you go, or do you go? Do you say 3 sticks and then I tie off? Do you say 2 sticks I tie off? What if you're a stick? If you're 5 feet off of the ground,
I'm
you
tied
tie off.
Yeah.
I had a scenario in Nebraska where I didn't even use a stick. I just my platform was about knee high. It was in one of those like cedars along the cornfield edge, and I was like I stepped up on my platform. I didn't tie off then. I didn't put my harness on. But
Yeah.
if I get above that, I just tie off. I consciously, because before I had kids, I probably wouldn't have. If I was just a stick or something high, but I consciously okay, if I fall out of this, break my neck, and then that's it. Not for me. Whatever. But I don't want my sons to not have a dad or have to deal with a paralyzed dad or something like that. That's kind of what my motivation is, to always keep one of something to the tree. But
I noticed myself getting a little complacent with that last year,
yeah,
getting all the way to the top and not tying off, and then I
Yeah.
slipped one time just a little bit, nothing major. But after that, it was like,
yeah,
it doesn't take anything to tie off. So
no,
It's usually just getting off center a little bit, and that's just enough to make the stand shift a little bit, or maybe it's the stick you're on or whatever. And I don't tie off until I'm up in the stand. That's usually when I tie off. After watching some of your videos last year, kind of hit me, and I'm like, maybe I should be wearing that lineman's belt all the way up. 'Cause
Well-
there's been times when there's some close calls, and
yeah.
so that's
I just put my stand up easier when I have my lineman's belt on. Like I can
absolutely
use my 2 hands and all that. I don't know.
safer, easier. Yeah,
For
maybe
me-
not faster, but in the long run, maybe it is faster.
I don't know. It depends on the tree too. If you
Yeah,
if you had to take it off and go around limbs a bunch, all that stuff, yeah, it's a pain. But
that's where Eric brought in a good point. Those smaller trees are easy because what I can do is I get up there and I can literally I put my foot on one step, I loop the next step back behind my knee, and I can literally hang off the tree like that, hang my stand.
Not only that, you
No
can throw your
problem.
leg around the
You
tree.
can-
You
You
can.
can squeeze the tree with your legs.
Yep,
Absolutely.
right.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's where those smaller trees are easier.
oh yeah,
I usually look for that,
But,
but it's not always going to be the scenario. I have to be honest. I'm probably not as safe as I should be, but it's not illegal, so I can talk about this.
what are we talking about here?
I usually do not tie off unless I'm about 15 feet or higher. Honestly.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yep. I just feel very restricted with my movement in the stand.
Yeah.
But maybe it's because I've worked construction throughout my life and I'm just kind of used to heights and that kind of thing, which is no excuse at all. I've been trying to get myself used to the harness. It's been very hard for me to try to get used to it. So it's definitely not a good thing. I know that. But driving down the road every day too can be pretty dangerous.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
I don't
honestly,
know.
up
It's-
until a few years ago, it was a hit and miss for me to wear a harness. Like, if I forgot it, I wouldn't wear it, and I was fine with it. And then I hate that harness where it comes up over your shoulders,
yeah.
and it just, I don't know, I just hate it.
Same thing like the restriction thing.
Yeah,
Just-
it's a restriction
Sure.
thing. You're hot. It's flopping around when you're trying to walk in the woods. It's clanking. Josh showed me the one that I wear now, that rock climbing one, and I wear that religiously now. It's a little lighter. It's not so noisy. Now I religiously wear it.
What
So
I
it's
find the
pretty
most
awesome.
restrictive with the harness I have anyways, it's tied to your back up here. And being a
Mhm.
right-handed shooter, you want to, if there's something behind you and you can see it, you kind of want to spin this way, right? You want to spin to your left. so
Yeah,
shoot
you
like
got that
this.
thing pulling on you.
Now you're spinning to your right, and you got that thing up in your elbow, and it's hard to shoot this way the way it is.
That's why I like the harness.
That's what makes it so uncomfortable for me.
That's
but-
why I like that harness that he.
Yeah.
And really, honestly, if you set that harness up right, you can use it almost like a saddle.
Yeah, you can.
And kind of hang out of it if you want. But not that I do that, because I don't know. I'm just not one for leaning over the edge of my stand. So,
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. But you guys ready to get off here and go to bed?
Yeah. Any did Zeke ever
Nothing
say
about
where
it.
he was?
I'd have to go back through. He's somewhere though in Wisconsin.
Yeah, I can just always.
We'll find out
Yeah.
sometime.
He can just.
give me comments.
He's on Messenger. He can just say tell me where he's at.
Yeah.
It's a group.
What is it?
Southeast bottom.
Southeast bottom.
Southeast
That's
bottom.
near us.
We're not bottom, but
Southeast corner.
Yeah, that's pretty much where we're at.
Like
Dan somewhere.
No, he's west.
east,
no, he said southeast bottom.
southeast.
Southeast bottom. Dan's southeast.
Maybe he's hunting with Dan.
Somewhere in that corner, maybe.
I don't know.
They really got it right now.
All right, everybody. Thanks for hopping on tonight. And I don't know. We may come back on here sometime over here till Wednesday. So
Maybe tomorrow night if he gets something.
yeah. So all right, everybody. Good luck if you're hunting in the morning. And talk to you later.
Be safe.
Bye.